Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Just Seen podcast. And today, as you've seen from the title, we got an impromptu, and we're going to be talking about the love of my life. Not that way in I'm just going to be spending time talking about the love of my life, but not. I'm speaking on a concept of the love of my life. Or I probably already changed the title. So you're probably seeing purpose partner at this point, but it stems from the love of my life because I literally just thought to change it that way. But I'm chilling, right? Minding my business. You feel what I'm saying? Going over some mixing shit and getting things in order for the future. You know what I'm saying? Going into this next phase because like I'm in a full path, so to speak. Um, in which like I'm at a whole new beginning of life, and it got kind of I ain't gonna say it got kind of scary, like just sitting and think about it, but it kind of started making me wonder because I'm looking at some of the current situations just from past experiences and shit, with women, especially over the next couple of over the last couple of days and whatnot and stuff like that. And I'm like, not the days, I mean years. My bad, I'm distracted. Let me get focused. I'm trying to mute silence my phone. But over the last couple years, while I was building and shit like that, and I was like, damn, like just relationships just didn't work, right? And in them not working, this gonna sound so fucking morbid, but I don't give a fuck. And I didn't give a fuck in the sense that I didn't care about those people. I didn't care, like, but I don't give a fuck that it's done because it felt like it just innately or deeply within me, it just felt like, yo, this wasn't right. It's like it didn't feel right. Like they felt forced. Some of them felt rushed. Some of them just felt like, yo, you're not supposed to be here. But I'm gonna, because you know how you talk about, relationships. They would take work and all of this shit and all of these things, right? And I kept, hearing the theme of, yeah, you need to heal because that's just trauma and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, nah, ain't nothing wrong with me. And in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? But then I realized that there's nothing wrong with either people. It's just that the the realities change. And I can't speak on their reality, but my realities change. And my reality has changed in the context of I've healed from what I was actually hurt from. And as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I did, some meditations on it and everything like that. And what came to me was that, the merging of two realities that I always speak on a regular basis that I never put two and two together until now. One point is, in Pala Cafe, peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, y'all know I define love as the power for betterment through correction. And you'll always hear me say your purpose is found on the other side of your pain. And this is where purpose partner comes in because I'm realizing that, yeah, I've healed and I've gone through it and everything, but it's like I can't fall in love again. And y'all always hear me have another concept like you don't fall in love, you rise in love. But then it got me to thinking, it's like, well, if all of these situations keep running into the same situation, it's like it's me. But then when I look at, there's always something that deviates me from these women. And it's always something that I ain't gonna say I'm settling, but I'm in a space where it's like we're gonna end up tolerating each other. You feel what I'm saying? We're gonna end up tolerating each other. And it's the tolerance between one another that we're gonna be looking at is in this, can we tolerate each other for long? You feel what I'm saying? And at first I used to think, well, damn, and then I seen another post that was saying, well, the man who's going to be in that top 1% or 5% or whatever the case may be that women going to chase. It was like, yo, he's at the bottom right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, he's going to be the dudes that the women want that are chasing. They were at the bottom 5-10 years ago. You see what I'm saying? And they were the ones that were overlooked. And I was like, I wasn't ever overlooked or no shit like that, but I'm just thinking about it. But I'm thinking about the recurring thing. None of these relationships worked. None of these situations worked. But all of these situations were patterned. Not on no like reflective shit, but all of these situations I realized were patterned off, the love that I had that I healed from. And it was like, yo, still trying to embark that and fit with that. But they conflicted with my purpose. And it hit me literally today, like a couple minutes before starting this recording, as I was meditating and trying to get the clarity as to what it was. And it was, Your love, the love of your life, right? You have one. And I didn't really realize that because we hear the social shit. Oh, you got more than one live love. You can love again, love again. Nah, you have one because now I'm gonna stick it into the context of with love comes correction. Love is the power for betterment through correction. There's only one experience that's supposed to you technically only need one dramatic experience to correct you into healing yourself to return and restore back to your purpose. And once you fulfill your purpose and you complete it, you'll start to see how all of the things that you think you want or you think that are supposed to be there are not there because they're not aligned with your purpose. And then I sat and I reminisced. I was like, that's why these past relationships over the couple years were not working. None of these women were aligned with my purpose. They were aligned with the way I loved. And those two things were different, but they were the same. But before I dive heavy into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram _just_seen_ Be sure to check out my website at IamJustSeen.com to get all things that are just seen. To all those who tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. To all those who would like to tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of the podcast. Not this episode, but the podcast itself. And as always, Cash App and PayPal are just fine. And you know the vibes. That's that for this and that's this for that. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into Impromptu Popups 33. Purpose partners. And don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There, you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So For Real series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the markets for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You ever want to just chat with Seen about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustSeen.com. So take a quick peek into my world to see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it, and you will never see it unless you visit IamJustSeen.com. All right. Welcome back. And without further ado, let's get back into it. And the only reason why I cut it off short like that was because I realized that I was going into the episode and that intro wasn't really right. So I just had to cut it because I don't want it to be that long. But yeah, so we're gonna get back into it today. So purpose partners, right? This is something that I've never heard of before, but I've seen a post and somebody said, It was the seed was planted a long time ago. I think it was like a month or two ago when I seen this post, and it was like, I don't need to fall in love again. I need a purpose partner. And I was like, and there was a woman saying it. So, in the heat of the conversation with the content and, the people arguing on social media, it was like, it stuck out to me. And I was like, that's an interesting point. But I didn't know what that person meant when they were saying it. Cause they clip the shit, for the content or whatever. But then it just stuck with me. And so it's like I said, I'm thinking, I'm just putting two and two together, and I'm like, damn, with love comes correction, and your purpose is on the other side of your pain. And then it's like I'm revisiting and I'm looking at how none of the relationships that I was trying to get into worked. And it wasn't just because they were long distance or whatever the case may be, but none of them worked, even the ones in close proximity. Like I moved to Philly in 2015, right? I moved to Philly in 2015, right? Even the physical ones that was, what I'm saying? It's like nothing was working. And I couldn't figure out why, because I was like, damn, but in the process, I'm fulfilling my purpose. I'm working towards my purpose. I don't know at the moment. Well, I know at the moment that I'm working towards my purpose, but I'm at the beginning of the shit. So I'm like, damn, all of these things ain't working. So I'm doing the healing. I'm doing the work and shit. I go back. I'm healing from the breakups and shit and thinking about all the shit of the past. And I'm like, why the fuck don't it work? Why the fuck is nothing working? You feel what I'm saying? All of these women are dope. All of these women are upper echelon. All these women are my type. All these women are what the fuck I'm looking for. But it's like, it's not working. It's just not fucking working. No matter what I do, something blocks me. And I'm like, what the fuck is blocking me? And then I'm looking at people whose relationships are thriving. You feel me? Jealous and shit. But you got to realize jealousy is love and hate at the same time. So I'm going to say that. I'm going to admit the jealousy part. But it's because I respected what I saw and I love what I saw in those relationships. But I just didn't like that I wasn't getting it out of shit that I was putting in work to. The women that that I was involving myself with, it seems like there was something missing in them. Like it seemed like it used to feel like there was a wall that I had to get through, and it's like, oh, I got to make her comfortable, make her like, nah, why am I able to be my full absolute self? And you act like you're scared to. You act like I have to earn the right to see who you really are. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Where the fuck is this coming from? Right? So I'm building these things, and and I'm going through life, and I'm I'm developing and I'm growing. And like I said, your purpose is found on the other side of your pain. So as I'm healing my pains, my purpose is forming, and not just like the emotional pains from a relationship, but I mean actually all of the pains of the culture, all of the pains of everything, like from the food that we eat, from all of these different things, from the music that we listen to, so many different components, and just masculine, everything. Y'all pretty much know the resume. IamJustSeen.com. But as I'm sitting and thinking about it, I'm like, damn, here I am fulfilling my purpose. And it's like these women coming into my space, I'm thinking they're aligned with my purpose, and they're not. They're aligned with the love that I give. And it was hard to see that, because it's like, you don't really understand that some people, this is no disrespect or no shot to those people, or those women, but some people love that you love them. And your ego can blind you in that regard, because you think that they love you back. Nah, they love that you love them. And the moment that you're not loving them, or loving them as they need to be loved, they'll take it away from you. And you're thinking, damn, why did it just stop? And that was a lesson that I experienced with my first relationship. The one that was the purpose of the depths of what all of this is about. Because that was the truest love. And that was the love that it was completely unbound. But that was the love that sent me back on my purpose when I healed. Never really understood so much of the dynamics of what that relationship represented until I healed from it. But then now reflecting on it, it's like, damn, I can't go back to that, because that relationship was in violation of my purpose. And it's more easy to see, because in the context of me getting back into my music now, like that was one of the first things to go in that relationship. My music. I started hating my music because I put my love somewhere else. And you get into a situation where some people don't know what it is to actually receive love. They just know what it is to be loved. You know what I'm saying? And it comes at a different, you know what I'm saying, reality. So I'm sitting here like in more recent times, and today actually, and I'm like, damn, how come I ain't got no hoes? And I'm being dramatic. I'm not saying hoes in a disrespectful way, but I'm just saying reminisce. And I was like, I could have hoes right now. But as I'm thinking about it, it's like, I don't want hoes. And I couldn't figure out why. I even just posted a story in my Instagram with Tony Yayo's song "I Don't Love Hoes" and shit like that. And I was like, this was an era. This was a time to be alive. So a lot of this shit, I'm telling you, it's just the way the divine alignment comes in, right? So I'm like, yo, I ain't got no hoes, bro. And not only hoes, just like I don't have the women in my space to actually, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like I'm gonna go fucking shit like that, but it's just like nobody's there. And it's like I had to realize why. And as I'm sitting back and I reflect on the situation, and the first heartbreak that I had, and I think a lot of us, when we have that first heartbreak, that should be our only heartbreak if we actually decide to heal from it. But society teaches you to go in your rebound. Don't go in your hermit phase. Don't go into the space of actually understanding and forgiving and learning. Like all of the shit that I be talking about in a podcast about, how to heal, how to get onto the other side of your purpose and all the shit. All of the shit that I knew deep within, I just had not made the final connection pieces. So when we had that first heartbreak, everybody, rather than going for forgiveness, they seek revenge. I don't know which episode it was that I talked about this on. It wasn't the last forgiveness episode, but I think it was another one. Or maybe it was just a regular conversation I was having with somebody. But I know I remember saying that forgiveness and revenge are opposite sides of the same coin. And again, it didn't hit me until I had reached forgiveness. Because that rebound phase that we get on is not, they say get over somebody else, you get under somebody else. That's revenge. We don't realize that what we've been doing all of this time in the quote unquote get over somebody is seeking revenge, because what we're trying to do is show that person that we're okay by fucking other people. You feel me? Society teaches you that. Society programs you for that. It doesn't teach you to actually heal and deal with your motherfucking self. It teaches you to go get revenge. And I always say, Like a people pleaser can flip the switch and become a spiteful motherfucker, right? Just like a person who has forgiveness, you know what I'm saying? This is where I'm getting it from. The opposite side of forgiveness is revenge. You see what I'm saying? And it's not until you actually forgive something and you actually reach a point of forgiveness that you can make the connection that, yo, that's why I couldn't forgive you because I was trying to get revenge. You feel me? And now this segues into a bigger thing because it's not just with that individual relationship. Like my relationship with my dad, all of these, like my initial reasoning for even doing what I was supposed to do. Like, for example, and this reflects because I'm going back into my music. My original rap name was Mick Gee, MICK space GE, right? And the reason why I went by Mick Gee because my point was I'm gonna show my dad that I'm gonna do better with the last name than he did. I didn't forgive him. There was no healing. There was no growth. There was revenge. I'm going to prove a point that I'm better than you at being a man, right? And you got to be careful with that because it was a simultaneous thing. Because the moment I accepted that as my name, and I was like Mickey, but then I had that intention that this is what I'm going to do it with. Universe said, "All right, we'll see," because you're doing it for the wrong reason. Vengeance is a horrible thing, right? Don't get me wrong. With just reason, vengeance is a necessary thing. But vengeance, being that it's the opposite of forgiveness, it can take a toll on you and control your entire reality to where you get caught in an insanity loop trying to do something that you don't even know what it is that you're doing. I'm going to get back to the conversation with my pops, but another big example of that is Franklin Saint. Franklin Saint built what he built out of revenge. And a lot of people don't realize that the revenge that he was trying to get, it was the revenge against the government, the revenge against the economy, the revenge against the way in which the revenge against the conditions in which he grew up. And it consumed him. You see what I'm saying? Because he wasn't able to forgive the situations because some shit is unforgivable. I can't even knock it. When you know that the government, and you watch many of his monologues and shit, it was like the government, they've been oppressing us for 400 years and all, like, you seeking that shit out of revenge. Again, now fast forwarding it back to my pops and myself. For my pops, it was like, yo, I'm going to show him that I'm better than him. That one moment when I uttered that I'm going to show him, I'm going to make better of the last name than he did without forgiving, I went into revenge. And that's how I ended up in that relationship that I was in. Not only did I ended up in it longer than I was supposed to because of revenge. Trying to show my pops you don't walk away from situations when they hard. You don't do that shit because that's what men do. It broke me because I was trying to get revenge when I should have just forgiven this man. But I was too young to forgive and I didn't understand what forgiveness was. You see what I'm saying? I was just making another post where I was like, you got to know the difference between wisdom and misery and well-decorated misery. You see what I'm saying? Some people will give you well-decorated misery that you think is wisdom. And you can find the gems in it. Don't get me wrong. You can find the game in it. But the reality of it is that that's not, that's not wisdom. That's well-decorated misery. The difference between well-decorated misery and wisdom is that when you're given wisdom, you can give the learning experience too and the lesson that was learned from it. One thing that I got to toot my horn on this, and I don't always do it, but for the majority of the podcast, which is why y'all listen anyway, is that when I give y'all the experience that I had, I give y'all the lesson that I learned from the shit too. You feel me? Like this episode, I'm giving y'all the lesson behind the experiences, right? So all of this time, I'm attacking this man without him knowing I'm attacking him because I'm like, I'm going to make the last name better than you ever made it. So much so I'm going to make it a rap name. Mick Gee, because my last name is McGee, right? And it led me into a pool that indirectly took me into the relationship I wasn't supposed to be in. Now, that relationship broke me to my core. See what I'm saying? But that's the aftermath of revenge. When they tell you that revenge will be the death of you, it'll be the downfall of yourself and you don't even know it, I can see that. Tying it back to the Franklin thing. The root of what he was doing was revenge against the country that had enslaved our people. This is not to say forget what they did to us, but forgive it and understand why the pain was inflicted. You see what I mean? Walk with me on this. You feel what I mean? So I'm thinking about this relationship and I'm like, damn, I only got into that relationship to prove the point. This is another thing that I was just really thinking about because I was asking myself, I said, man, I don't want no kids. I don't want kids anymore. But I was asking myself, did I really want, and I didn't really want kids until I got into a relationship. But I had to ask myself and really sit and be a mature adult and ask myself, did I want kids out of revenge? To prove to my dad that I can be a better father than him. Because again, all of this was the same shit. Because when I got with this particular woman, everything aligned to where it's like, yo, you have the opportunity to prove that you're a better man. You have the opportunity to prove that you're going to be the better man. You can get through the hard times, you can get it, but have you ever been built for it? Hell no, I was a hoe. I was out here running these streets, slinging dick and shit. I ain't had time to be locked down in a relationship to actually realize the revenge that I was doing. You see what I'm saying? Because when you don't forgive, you're going to end up with a vengeful spirit. And it's crazy how this actually works out because the very last episode, Impromptu, was on forgiveness. It's crazy how things are just aligned, but we're going to keep it rocking, baby. We're going to keep it rocking. So I'm reevaluating this relationship. And the whole time I'm in it, I'm trying to prove that I'm better than my dad. Trying to prove that I can be a better man than my dad. So on paper, everybody was telling me the truth of, yeah, you're a good man. She shouldn't have done that to you. I shouldn't have been seeking revenge against my father. That was a different reality for me because so oftentimes we look at relationships and we look at how men can be fuckboys and we be like, yo, he's trying to seek revenge on his mother. And we're trying to get like, but what about the other side of that to the man who's trying to seek revenge on his father? What does that lead you to? Being a nigga that's got to put on a cape. You got to say these hoes. You got to be the motherfucker that women are going to chase. You got to be the motherfucker that, like, that was me. That was me. I'm just now coming to terms with this reality now because it's like all of this time I'm looking at over the last couple of years and it's like, why don't these relationships work? Because none of these relationships are, I didn't even know what my purpose was. You see what I'm saying? But it's aligned with that because I still had that deep rooted issue of trying to get revenge on my dad. I had to forgive this man in order for this to be revealed to me. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm 33 years old right now, and I'm just now coming to terms with this reality that, damn, all of this time, the shit that I was doing was trying to get revenge on him. And sometimes we be thinking that revenge is always some evil shit. You think that it's a motherfucker dressed in all black lurking in the shadows and shit. Nah, sometimes your revenge could be you trying to be the best, trying to outdo somebody that you think failed at something. That's revenge too. That's the positive side of revenge because it's noble. It's like I'm doing this for a reason. So this relationship, like I said, it ended up breaking me to my core and shit. But that was the relationship that opened me up. You see what I'm saying? Because it showed me contradictions of religion. It showed like everything that I am right now was the manifestation of healing from that. Like I was talking to that one more time. She said, "Is your relationship with God because of me?" I didn't at the time. I couldn't answer. I was like, "No, motherfucker, don't feel like you that motherfucking important where you can change somebody's reality." No, because a lot of it was me healing and it was my studying and everything like that. But at the same time, it was like, in a way, yeah. Because if I would have never got with her, I would have never got back into the Bible. I would have never got back into studying this shit. And I would have never started looking at the Greek and Hebrew concordances. I would have never started learning it the way that I did, studying the history and the cultures and all that shit. I would have never did that. So it's like, damn, nigga. In a way, I guess you did. You feel what I'm saying? But I was like, I don't want you to feel like you did that. Like you were the cause of what that represented. You know what I'm saying? Like your actions pushed me to that. Nah, because in that reality, had I never met you, I would have never studied it anyway. You feel what I'm saying? So in studying it and in developing these things, these are situations that led me into who I am right now. When I looked at that situation and I actually healed from it, that's when I started to understand your purpose was found on the other side of your pain. I started developing a whole lot of philosophies after my heartbreak. And a lot of motherfuckers, you know how like, oh, when a motherfucker get heartbroken, they get on social media and they be like, nah, it was different. Something had opened up in me. You feel me? And it was the very thing that had closed in me when my father fucked me up. When I was 11 years old, when I met him, and he made the promise that he was going to come back, right after he lied and didn't come back, that's when my performance in school started dropping. From that moment, I had internalized the revenge of I'm going to get you back. And the only way to get you back was to show you that I'm better than you. Again, certain shit be so rooted deeply within you that you compound it over and over again and don't realize it. You dig what I'm saying? Initially, I wanted to make them, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be bad and say it's because of my dad. I actually decided, this was crazy plot twist because it's all a choice and a decision. I decided to be good because while he was in my life, he called me a nerd. And when he, like, not in my life, but when I was 11 years old, when I first met, he said, "Oh, you just an old nerd," and just insulted me and shit. You feel me? And the crazy part about it is this nigga's a fucking nerd, bro. That's what blew my fucking mind. You disrespected me at 11 years old because you didn't even want to embrace the intelligence. The last couple years that I've been rocking with my dad, like, this nigga fixed computers and shit. You know what I'm saying? He's an actual like, I'm like, yo, nigga, you smart as fuck. You a nerd too, nigga. What? You feel me? All this time I believed you was stupid. Cause I didn't, like, you didn't want to make it cool for you to be okay. But anyway, so the seed was planted when I was 11. So when I met him and shit, when he called me a nerd, my grades started dropping because I was like, I wanted that approval. I wanted my dad, and then he didn't come back. The revenge for me was to show him that I'm better than him. Low key, I think I became narcissistic because of that. Like, my good grades and shit, I was naturally a scholar, so it wasn't hard. But you feel me? A lot of the shit was to prove to him that I'm better. I'm going to make the last name better than you can. So much so when they hear the name McGee is going to have a positive situation from this point forward through the remainder of our lives. So it was revenge. You feel what I'm saying? And I know it's like, damn, nigga, I thought you were supposed to be talking about heartbreak and shit. I am talking about heartbreak. My dad did break my heart. And I'm also going to connect it to the woman who broke my heart, but I'm also connecting to the purpose of a purpose partner because your purpose is found on the other side of your pain. You feel me? So seeing that, the only reason why I was able to end up in a relationship with that type of woman was because I was trying to outdo my father. It made everything make fucking sense, which made sense why every woman that I involved myself with after her had daddy issues, my nigga. This ain't trying to be funny or disrespect them or say, because some of them didn't exhibit their daddy issues. Some of them but there was a fucked up relationship with their fathers in some way, shape, or form. And the universe was constantly putting me in alignment with these women because I had to show that I'm not that nigga. I'm a good fucking man. I'm the better man because I was trying to seek revenge on my father. Not only my father, but all of the fathers all of the black men that had left their kids alone, all that shit. I didn't know what I was internalizing at that time because I was seeking revenge. I was seeking revenge like a motherfucker, and it made me put the cape on. Some of us be thinking we good men and shit and we morally right because we put the cape on because we trying to seek revenge and show that we're better than other men. Or we're better than the deadbeats. We're better than whatever affected us negatively. That's crazy when you really think about it because nobody looks at revenge that way. Nobody looks at revenge as a positive. Nah, that's in my opinion, that's a deceptive level of revenge. Because I can deal with the revenge of, hey, this nigga punched me in my mouth. I'm going to beat this nigga ass every time I see him. We fighting on sight. That's a different level of revenge because that's revenge that I would call like equal justice. But then when you have revenge that you don't know is revenge because you think you're doing a good deed, that's crazy. That's scary as fuck. And that's dangerous because when you actually consider that and you look at how revenge and forgiveness are opposite sides of the same coin, when it's like, damn, the outcome would have been the same. I could still prove that I can still be the better man. I can still be this. But what does that do in the long run? It does nothing but eat you up inside because you're not even living a life positively. You're living a negative life. And it's in living through the negativity, you're seeking revenge and you're doing it positively. So when I looked at all of the situations that kept coming back, it's like, yo, I have another opportunity to show that, damn it, I'm better than the man that my father was. And I'm running into women who did not have their father in their lives or they had a fucked up relationship with their father. I was like, bruh. It's like, and it did not change. And I get it. Our culture's fucked up. So most of the women have a fucked up relationship with their father. But not all women have a fucked up relationship with their father. Not only that, not all women are seeking revenge against their father in their relationships. I'm going to sit with that for a second. Let that marinate. Again, this isn't any form or any shape or form to be disrespectful toward these women, but this is an observation. These women were seeking revenge against their fathers by, I'm going to have a man who's better than you. Look at this conversation of, I need a man who's 6 figures. I need a man who's this. He got to do this. And they don't have fathers that were able to do that. They're seeking revenge in a positive way. Oh, buddy, we getting deep into this motherfucker here. Let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. Melodies from heaven ring down on me, goddamn. But that's what these conversations are about. These women are seeking revenge against the person that they won't seek vengeance on. The most recent interactions that I've had is what revealed that to me the most. I was like, damn, I don't have a type. I really don't have a type. I have an ego. I have an ego that's calibrated me into seeking revenge against my father. And these women are going to be the beneficiaries of the revenge that I'm seeking. That hit me differently as I healed it. In the times, it wasn't healed. It wasn't something that I felt like I had to heal. It wasn't even something that I felt like was a motherfucking problem, to be quite honest with you, because it's a good thing. Because I would put myself to the back burner and omit my mental health. I would forget my emotional health, all because I'm seeking revenge to prove a point to this nigga. And this nigga ain't even thinking about the point I'm trying to prove. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't until after I wrote my first book that the snowball rolling when I realized that I needed to heal. Because I finished my first book and was like, yeah, I was 26 years old. I was like, yeah, I just need to talk to my dad one time. Because I wanted to throw it in his face. Yeah, bitch, I wrote a book. Yeah, bitch, I wrote a book. Fuck you, nigga. Your bitch ass. Now, mind you, I'm 26 years old. 26 years old. So my healing process has started, but there's still some deep-rooted shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit I had to clean up. But that's how it was. Yeah, Pop. Yeah, I just finished the book and shit. You feel what I'm saying? I'm an entrepreneur now. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting this shit. And all of that shit was out of spite. It was out of revenge. Don't get me wrong. So Frail and that was supposed to come. None of the shit is like revenge. Like, you can tell by the content that with So Frail, there was actually some real healing and real learning and shit through the full series. But if you pay attention to the way that I wrote it, like, you can go from the first one where I was trying to, like, just look at how the first one is set up. Look at the whole setup of all of them. 1, 2, and 3. In the first one, you can see that I was like real spiritual, real woke. I was like high up there. I was like, I'm using certain words that's like, because I'm trying to prove that I know what I'm talking about. I did know what I was talking about, but I didn't want you to, you know what I'm saying? But by the second one, you could feel the anger. But by the third one, you feel the peace. You see what I'm saying? But all of these because after the first one was written. When I talked to this nigga and I'm telling him about it, it's like, yo, the nigga didn't even care. This nigga actually told me he was proud of me. Here I am thinking it's going to be like a Tyler Perry movie and shit where the dad be like, I don't give a fuck, nigga, leave me alone, blah, blah. And he hang up on me and shit. Nah, he was like, yo, I'm proud of you. And then he said something powerful to me. He said, you ain't got no kids, do you? I was like, nah, I ain't got no kids yet, man. I want to make sure. And I'm throwing it in his face. Yeah, because I want to make sure I solidify myself before. He was like, yeah, man, make sure you do that because this is a hard world and shit. And last thing you want to do is mess up like I did. Whoa, I was supposed to have revenge and you were supposed to be hitting the soft spot. Ah, nigga, no, you weren't supposed to hit me right there. Oh, the forgiveness started for him. You know what I'm saying? The healing started already because I was writing So Frail and I was going through the process and shit. But I started to realize that, damn, no wonder I kept running into these women like that. I was putting on a cape trying to save these hoes because I was seeking revenge against my father. And like I said, that led me into the relationship that broke me to my core. Because now I'm healing. Now I'm having to heal two things. And I never forget the moment she told me this bullshit. Not the bullshit. Well, it's bullshit, but the moment she called me and was like, yeah, I cheated on you, whatever the case might be. I told her. And this is when I started to realize unconscious mind, but I wasn't too aware of it. But my unconscious mind spoke. I said, you in the same motherfucking pocket as my daddy, bitch. Fuck you. In that moment, I grouped her to the level of pain. But then I started thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? How did I get with her? And why did I stay so long? And I looked at the hindsight. I was like, nigga, this shit was supposed to be over 6 months ago. Matter of fact, wasn't supposed to be a relationship. You were supposed to smash. You were trying to prove a point because she was a broken person. She was a broken person by the hands of her father. Nigga, the universe. Sometimes you don't even know how wired you are to certain alignments. until you sit back and you start to heal and you reflect on these motherfuckers, right? So when healing from that, there was so much shit that was just, you know what I'm saying, compounded in the healing and shit. But before I wanted to heal, it was still going back to the point, prove that I'm a good man. I was still, now it compounds, because that's another piece about revenge that people don't want to talk about. The moment you start on that revenge is a snowball, bro. Just like forgiveness is a snowball. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But revenge is a snowball effect. And again, I'm going to get to the motherfucking purpose partner. This is setting the scene, damn it. So revenge and forgiveness are both snowballs. And they're going to pick up momentum the more you do them. You see what I'm saying? But then the more you attach to other shit, the bigger the snowball gets. Not only the bigger the snowball gets, the worse it gets. The worse it gets for you and the harder it is to control. So not only now am I seeking revenge against my father, deeply rooted down to my unconscious mind, I'm now seeking revenge against this woman. The double whammy of I'm going to prove that I'm the better man. I'm going to prove that I'm a good fucking man. Why do you have to prove it? What are you running from? I ain't know I was running because I didn't know that revenge was looked at that way. Because I was like, now, for me, revenge would have been like, because I did try to fuck one of her friends. She wouldn't give me no pussy, though. I was like, man, bitch, fuck you. You feel me? Went to the strip club. Her friend was a stripper. So she wasn't a stripper. She was stripping at the time. So I go to the strip club and shit. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to fuck her friend, bro. I used to want to fuck. Like, I had to get her back. But I didn't realize how dangerous that was, because the rebound, what people don't look at, the rebound is really revenge. That's why that shit be so bad. That rebound phase is really revenge. And we be thinking that it's not, but it is. You're doing shit to get back at another motherfucker, and there's people that are gonna be victimized by it. So in the time, the revenge that I'm seeking again is not negative revenge, because I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna fuck your friends. I'm gonna be the bigger person. I'm this, that, and the third. I can still go back. I still could have went back and fucked all of her friends on some GP shit. But then I was like, I'm not trying to seek revenge. I'm just gonna prove that I'm the better man. I'm gonna prove that I'm this, that, and the third. But now I have two levels of revenge that are deeply connected to the heartbreaks within me, from my father and from her now. So from that point forward, every relationship was trash. I was running into women, same situations, kept running into women who had issues with their father. But now you got issues with your father, and you just like the woman that I was talking to, the woman that broke me. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm fucked up. A couple of them I told, yo, I'm fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm hurt. You're not gonna fix me. Oh, I just want to love you. I just want to heal your heart. Nah, don't do that, because then you're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate me. There was a run, like I said, that run where I don't remember some of these women that I was fucking with. I was just seeing this post about Brittany Renner, and motherfuckers is going crazy about her. Like, yo, she got 35 bodies. I said, that's it? Nigga. Y'all tripping about 35? Wow, okay. Now, mind you, this woman is probably in her 30s now. You know what I'm saying? Over time. I had over that by the time I was 18 years old. Nigga, 35 bodies? What? Now, all of that was still out of revenge, and I didn't even know it. The women at the time that I was fucking with heavy, like, I literally the very same year that my father did whatever he did and just disappeared and never came back, that's the year I lost my virginity. When I tell you I started fucking at 11 years old, yeah, same shit, been on a tear ever since. Well, except when I became celibate and shit over the last 8-9 years, but been on a tear ever since, because I didn't know what I was doing. So the revenge was, I became the ladies' man. Let me be the motherfucker who can swoon the women, make them feel good about themselves, do everything that I never seen a man do before, but do everything that I knew that my father couldn't, because I seen the condition that he left my mother in. So I made sure that any woman that I involve myself with, I'm not going to leave them in the condition that my mother was left in. That's dangerous as fuck, because all of that shit was out of revenge. So I was knocking them out. This is why to this day, I can say that I can backtrack on a lot of the women that I went with. There's not many women that I can't go back to and say, yeah, you feel me? Even if I dogged him out, I kept it straight up with him because I'm thinking, yeah, if I'm being honest with you, she can't get mad and shit. There was a lot of vengeful shit that I did because I didn't know it was vengeance. I didn't know it was revenge. You feel me? So, set the scene finally. So, by 24, I'm in med school. 23, 24, I'm in med school, and I meet somebody. Another motherfucker whose father wasn't in their life. But I actually like this person. And me and this person are aligned. Now, mind you, I didn't finish med school. I was going to be out of med school at some point. It's like, because your purpose, it has to show its face. But this person, like we vibing and shit, and we are in line on if I would have finished med school, me and her being together would have made perfect sense. But when I experienced her, it was, I got to heal. Something's wrong with me. Because she called me out on my shit. She was like, you defensive as fuck. I'm like, what you mean defensive? I ain't defensive. I just don't take no shit. You ain't about to disrespect me, homie. I was defensive, but I didn't realize why. There was a deep-rooted level of revenge that I was still seeking, but I didn't want to seek revenge on this person. And that was the first person that I ever felt for that I was like, I don't want to do nothing that I'm doing right now with you. I don't want to do nothing that I've ever done with you. So I said, you know what? I need to close this chapter. So I go back, you know what I'm saying? That semester's over. I go back and I meet up with my ex and shit. And I needed closure. But my closure was, let me see if there's anything still there with me. Because I didn't realize what I was holding on to. It wasn't her. It was the idea that I got to seek revenge to beat my father. So I go back to her. And we go out to eat and shit and everything. And she starts talking about, how she working this job and, her insurance is bad. And she starts talking about a whole bunch of other shit, her losing a child and her mentality afterward and everything like that. And all this other shit. And in my mind, in that moment, I was just like, bitch, that's what you get. I'm keeping the composure, but I'm like, yes, you feel how you made me feel. Nigga, that's not nice. I know, saying, you shouldn't give a fuck. No, nah, for real, because that was out of vengeful mind. I had not forgiven that person. You see what I'm saying? Because I wasn't trying to understand why the pain was inflicted in the first place. That was a vengeful fucking heart. That was a vengeful mind to look at that person and say, that's what the fuck you get. Nah, bro, that's not what the fuck she get. Granted, karma is karma, but at the same time, you shouldn't do I now understand the phrase, don't wish death. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And some people say, yes, I would, because that's why they my fucking enemy. It's different when you have forgiveness for your enemies. You still my enemy, homie, but I understand why you're my enemy. I'm still going to treat you the same way as if I was seeking revenge, but fighting out of revenge as opposed to fighting out of forgiveness, it's two totally different mentalities. Y'all know I got to throw the Dragon Ball Z in a bitch. That's the difference between Goku and Vegeta. Goku was a forgiving motherfucker. That's the only reason why Frieza was able to come back to Earth the second time. Not Vegeta. Vegeta wanted revenge against Frieza. Not Goku. Feel what I'm saying? So Vegeta's whole mission why he got strong was so he can kill Frieza. Because he knew that he couldn't bang with Frieza yet. But Goku, I just want to get stronger. You see what I'm saying? So you have a different mentality. The same fight can come out that motherfucker though. Because to this day, Vegeta can't beat Goku. Well, he probably can now because they on equal pars. Goku got Ultra Instinct, Vegeta got Ultra Ego and shit. But that it kind of showed me a little bit about myself. Ego was ultra like a motherfucker because I'm laughing at your misery because of the misery that I was feeling. That wasn't cool. Especially the circumstance. I'd never forget. I was beefing with her so bad. Like when I say beefing. If she was a nigga, I would have beat her motherfucking ass, but she wasn't because she was a woman and shit. So, and it got to the point where death threats got involved and niggas was like, supposedly dudes were supposed to shoot me and kill me on campus and shit. And I was like, yo, you better hope, because I knew her grandparents lived. I knew her address. I still know that shit to this day. You feel what I'm saying? That's how deep the revenge was. I said, if something happens to me, I'm killing everything. I was like, and this was my thing. Oh, you wanted a hood nigga? You gonna see what a hood nigga really is. You think he a hood nigga for real because he motherfucking got out of jail and he sell weed. No, nigga, I'm gonna show you what a real hood nigga is. Fuck with me. I said, you better hope he kill me. You feel me? Revenge. I realized I was never really that evil of a motherfucker. I was just vengeful as shit. I was vengeful as shit. And I was a people pleaser too, which made it that much worse because I was vengeful in a positive dynamic. I was doing shit to prove a point. Low key narcissistic behavior. I can admit that shit. I can admit that shit. Right. So after this little date, you know what I'm saying? I get to, yeah, she feel like I feel. I felt I was justified. I said I can be done with it. Now I can move on. Still couldn't move on. Universe. From that moment on, every relationship that I was trying to get in, it blocked me. I was blocked. I was blocked. The one relationship that I could have actually been solid in, this was undergrad. So forgive me, y'all. This was before all the other shit. So if you say some shit, it's like, scene, don't clutch your motherfucking pearls, nigga. The fuck? This is real. I'm just being honest with you. So at a HBCU, I had a homegirl. She was black and Mexican, right? Her mom was black, her daddy was Mexican shit. She had a healthy relationship with her daddy. And she wanted me. Like, and I wanted her, but something would not let me get with her. I said, I can't fucking connect with you because you have a healthy relationship with your father. The universe would not allow that for me. At the time, everything was perfect. She was good for me. Like, really good for me. She was a real good fit for me. We majored in the same, well, we majored in a similar, like, I think right now she just finished dental school. But again, shit wouldn't have worked out over time because of where I am right now. You see what I'm saying? Like, she was heavily religious and all these other things. Like, shit just wouldn't have worked out. There's other levels to this shit. So I'm like, outside of that, everything was just trash. So the situation that when I got into med school and shit, and, you know, I'm talking to this woman or whatever, and it's like, she had an issue with her father. When women have an issue with a father, they don't respect the men that they with. So now when you in a situation where you had an issue with your father and you in a space where you trying to seek revenge and prove that you the better man, that shit clashes. It magnetizes to each other so well, but it clashes so horribly because while they don't have respect, I'm trying to earn the respect and go above them. And I'm not even seeing the level of respect that I'm trying to earn because I'm just focused on, yo, I'm going to show my daddy that I'm a better man than he could have ever been. Not realizing that mentality is being exploited in me because I'm dealing with women who demand a level of respect that they never had to give their fathers. It's crazy, right? But it's the reality that we all have to face and we all have to deal with, considering our culture in fucking America. You feel what I'm saying? This is why when I talk about shit, these are things I was like, yo, nigga, this is 400. I gotta go back 400 years to solve this problem. When I tell people I've done healing for our culture, nobody wants to believe me. They're like, you can't heal for the nigga. Yes, you can. You just got to see how back the trauma goes and you can start the process. And it's going to take a lot of time. Feel me? Took me damn near a decade. You feel what I'm saying? To heal and go through the process of 400, 500 years of trauma that is perpetuated over and over again. You see what I'm saying? So in talking to her, this is 2014, and talking to her like the seeds was planted and shit. And I was like, yo, I can't be that type of man no more. I just can't. You feel me? But again, me meeting her was supposed to happen, but I wasn't supposed to finish med school. Like every position of your life, you're supposed to be where you're supposed to be. Now, it ain't about what you walk away from, it's what you walk away with. You go where you're supposed to go for every reason. There's no, like, what are the odds of us two meeting the way in which we did? Like the first time I applied for med school, I didn't get in. I think she was like a year or two older than me. But the first time I applied to med school, I didn't get in. When she applied to med school, she did like a thing to get like residency or some shit after undergrad or whatever. There were so many different moving pieces that aligned us to make sure, okay, y'all two are gonna be friends. Y'all have to be. And when we got to the to med school, we were probably the only two that fuck with each other. Like we had other friends that we associated with, but me and her were together every day. So much so people thought we went together. You feel me? She could have been my girl, but I was like, nah, let's see how, because I don't know what you're gonna do after this shit is over with. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know what you're gonna do after this shit is over with. So I'm taking that moment. And in that moment, in med school, the same time I'm meeting her, same thing, I stumble across Hidden Colors. I stumble across Dr. Sabi. I'm actually around real natural foods and whole foods and fruits. And I ran across this dude who was in our med school cohort who was a vegan. He was plant-based. And then he started talking about Dr. Phil Valentine and all of these, like, I would have never been exposed to none of that shit had I never went to med school. You see what I'm saying? So as I'm going over this shit, I'm like, whoa, the healing started then. The shit just like, okay, nigga, this is where it's going to start. So in leaving the situation with her, and knowing that, all right, we ain't gonna be able to be together because I ain't fit. My grandma got murdered. Like all of, nothing is an accident. Nothing is an accident in the grand scheme of things. Like everything, there's no reason. Like everything happens the way that it happens as it happens. You can't argue with it. All you can do is understand the process and keep rolling with the punches. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, you're not supposed to go to med school. You're not supposed to be a doctor. You'll find out later why, but you're not supposed to be a traditional doctor, bro. Nigga, why? Nigga, why? That's what I've been working for all my life. No, you've been working to fulfill your purpose all your life. Your purpose got derailed. Because of what I represent on the other side, I tell people this all the time. Don't let the status of what you are in this earthly realm make you overlook the status of somebody on the other side. When I tell you I hold rank on the other side, I hold rank on the other side. But my rank is so high on the other side that on this side I have to do so much. So many of us on the other side have high ranks, and we can't figure out why we have to do so much on this world. Because society teaches you just get one major. No. There's a purpose that you got to fulfill. And the higher your rank is, the more purposes you got to fulfill. I know it seems kind of crazy how it's like, yo, how did you do plant-based shit? How did you do the masculinity? How did you do everything that you did on equal parts? Because of what I am on the other side, homie. Y'all seen Princess and the Frog? He was like, y'all got friends on the other side. I got friends on the other side too. But who I am on the other side is great. When my guides come and fuck you up, it's not just regular guys that fuck you up, bro. Because you got to know my rank. I'm up there. You feel what I'm saying? I'm up there. I'm not going to tell you what my rank is because I don't want the intimidation factor and shit. I want y'all to still think of me as sane. You feel what I'm saying? But y'all pretty much can gauge what my rank is. I am up there, bro. It's not on the spiritual side, not on any funny shit. There's not many that can outrank me. So when you wrong me, I be trying to make sure the shit. I didn't realize how powerful it was until the woman that cheated on, like when she lost her baby, I was like, whoa. I was like, yo, the baby ain't got shit to do with that. I was like, yo, this is our beef. Yo, the baby ain't got nothing to do with it, bro. Like, what y'all doing? She fuck with you. Now, mind you, because I'm heavily religious at the time, I don't know much about shit. Only thing that I can make the parallelism was like, yo, King David put Uriah the Hittite on the front line to get killed and take Bathsheba. He lost his baby after 7 days. She lost her baby after 7 days. Like, she kept fucking with me. And I was like, yo, I told my homie, I said, tell your friend to leave her alone. Leave me alone. You feel me? Because we had a mutual friend. And these were her words. She said, and I still got him writing songs about me. Again, music is one of my purposes. I have a divine connection with music. If y'all heard some of the shit that I've put together, some of my music and shit, you realize what it is. But she was fucking up my music. She was making me put anger and hatred into and vengeance into my music. That's not what my music is supposed to be used for. I'm learning that now in the healing and shit. So in the not really the healing at this point, it's the restoration. So as she, you know what I'm saying, the very next day, my homegirl called me and said she apologized. Oh, fuck her apology. Fuck that bitch, bro. I don't give a fuck, man. Because I'm going to tell you why. I didn't give a fuck because she kept pushing my buttons. Because what she did was, me and her, I had never talked about kids before, but I said, when I have my first daughter, I'm going to name her Zipporah. Now, mind you, I said it because the Zipporah was a beautiful name. It was in the Bible and shit like that. I'm not naming my daughter that anymore. But at the time, it was like, and she got pregnant by another man and said she was going to name that baby Zipporah. And I told my homie this because I started to see visions. And that's when I realized I started tapping into my spirituality differently on a whole nother level. So I say, watch, she going to find out she having a girl and she going to try to name the baby Zipporah. So we in Target and my homegirl is like, Ray, she found out she having a girl. I said, what she say she going to name it? She was like, she only thought about it. I said, nah, fuck that, bro. The fact that she thought about it, bro. I'm like, why does she keep doing this to me? Why does she keep doing this to me? That's what I'm feeling. In hindsight, I look back, that's what vengeance gets you. When you're seeking revenge on some shit, the universe is going to balance you out. You can't go but so far without having it received, having it given back to you. And then when you hold rank on the other side, you're not permitted to seek vengeance. Because the aftermath of the shit that happens to you is greater because you have a higher responsibility. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, on one hand, I'm trying to seek vengeance on my dad to prove that I'm a better man. Now I'm trying to get the vengeance on her to show that, bitch, you fucked up. You fucked it. And then it's like, yo, you're going to keep getting hit because this is the meted justice. It's balance, the law of compensation. You can't miss it. Damn it. The universe it does not lie. And it works evenly. You feel what I'm saying? It works fucking evenly. So as that happens, when she finally loses the baby and shit 7 days later, when she called me and she was like, I'm so sorry, this, that, and the third, I lost. I was like, yo, damn. I said, I know me and you going through our shit, but I'm sorry that your child had to go through that. Like, cause that, like, your child, like, that's collateral damage from shit that shouldn't even have been. This is why I always say, like, and I even just made a post about this today. I was like, the aftermath of the relationship is the best, the absolute best that your two minds could put together. When I looked at the calamity of what was left after me and her, between myself, between her, just the after, like, that was the best me and her could do together. That was the best that me and her can do together. And when I realized that the universe was protecting, when I looked at a lot of the relationships being long distance and me saying I got to focus on things, I realized low key, because I had not acknowledged that I was still tapped into that vengeful shit, the universe was protecting a lot of women from me. Because in seeking revenge, even though it's noble, even though it's positive, even though you're trying to think you're doing a good thing because you're trying to prove somebody that you're better than them. Like, think about what that means. Nobody in the earth is better or lower than anybody. Like, we're all, and I know I said I hold rank on the other side, but on the other side, you're still not greater or less than anybody. It's like the gears of a clock. The small gear ain't no better than the big gear when it makes the whole motherfucker tick. You see what I'm saying? So when I look at how I would have catalyzed these women with the same, like, it would have, the process would have kept repeating itself. And it's like, all right, nigga, you got a chance to see what the fuck you can do with people. You can do with this type of energy. Are you going to keep trying to do that energy? No, every relationship wouldn't work. Because not only was I being protected from these women were being protected from me, because these two minds, when these mindsets come together, this is the aftermath. All you keep hearing is get into the markets. But do you trade or do you invest? Should you do stocks, Forex, crypto, or NFTs? My personal answer is not a single one if you don't know how to read a chart. Without knowing how to read a chart, you end up giving all your money to those who do. Do you know what a candle is? Do you know the pocket of activity? Do you know the difference between market direction and market control? If you answer no at least once, you might want to learn how to read a chart first. Learning how to read a chart will let you know if you should trade or invest, and if you should do stocks, Forex, crypto, and or NFTs. It will also let you know if this is even for you or not. So visit IamJustSeen.com to learn how to read charts with my Mastering the Market course, ebooks, and webinars today. The world is changing. The question is, will you adapt with it? Mind you, when I'm looking at it from this perspective and I'm like, yo, bro, me and Shorty that was the best our mind. Let's put two heads together. That was the best that our two heads came together with and created. Pure destruction. Pure destruction. So much damage, so much heartbreak, so much everything in that from our two minds coming together. Two minds that were seeking vengeance. She was on the other side trying to show that, trying to get back at her father. That's why she wanted hood niggas. I never understood why she was fucking with me, because I'm like, yo, you come from an affluent home. She was trying to get back at her daddy. And so was I. That's the aftermath of that. It changed my entire reality as I started to think about it. I'm like, damn, bro. This is what our two minds put together. So in healing that shit, this is why I speak on with love comes correction. That was my first love, and it corrected me like nothing else. Because it was the power that was able to break my heart enough to say, hey, you're fucked up. Heal. Mind you, I still never made the connection that it was because of my daddy being the first person to break my heart the way that he did. But then as time goes on, I was able to heal it all. And in healing it all, my purpose started being revealed to me, because your purpose is found on the other side of your pain. With love comes correction. When you're correcting yourself and you're actually finding purpose and you're healing that shit, your purpose gets revealed to you. Like, So Frail would have never been created had my father been in my life. I would have had no reason to. I would not have known that masculinity was something that's missing from the world. It's not just, when I tell y'all, like, I'm breaking cycles. I'm healing for the culture. That's why it's taking me a little longer than everybody else. That's why the shit that's getting, that I gotta run with, is taking me a little longer than everybody else, because I gotta heal for the culture, not just for myself and my bloodline. It's for the fucking culture. Because of what has been input and imparted within the culture to make us be this way. The way we eat, the way our men are. You feel me? Everything that I've done is healing for the culture. It just wasn't my time yet to reveal everything yet. Because again, I understand the backside of what it is. If you read So Frail 3, when I talk about noorophobia, where J. Edgar Hoover, they said they fear the rise of a black messiah. I already seen the game. When you look at Tupac, when you look at Nipsey Hussle, you look at Huey Newton, you look at Bobby Seale, you look at Malcolm X, you look at all these Messiah energies. They kill you before you finish a mission. I had to step back and say, you know what? Let me stay in the shadows and do everything first. So if they kill me, I win. If you kill me before the mission is done, I got to come back into this motherfucker. But if you kill me after the mission is done, I'm not a martyr. I'm a legend. I go down forever. Now I put him in checkmate, because it'll be better for them to leave me alive and call me crazy than it is to actually kill me, because you liberate my people from mastering the market. Like, think about, I was listening to Dr. Kaba Kamene, and he was saying that the first stocks on Wall Street, the first stocks and bonds on Wall Street were black people, my ancestors. And now I've mastered the market. If they take me out, I mastered it in such a way that I have now also given the game to other people around. Like I said it in a jam session, my keys, I said, even in death, so much is left. My seeds are planted, my keys are scattered around this land in hands and minds, enhancing mind. Just have some time and patience. Wait, this may get apeshit. If they take me out, I don't care, because the mission is done. So Frail information is already given to the masses. You feel what I'm saying? All of these conversations, everything that I'm leaving here is already given here. You see what I'm saying? I crossed every T and dotted every I. But the purpose was, like I said, I was healing for the culture. But in healing and developing, certain things started being revealed to me. But one thing that I had to keep coming back to was, why are my relationships with women coming back to this? So after I wrote So Frail 1, and I'm talking to my pop and shit, once So Frail, like, my pussy rate went through the roof, dog. Like, the women I was reading So Frail and shit, shooting shots, everybody, like, they all had issues with their father. All the ones that I decided to let into my space, they had issues with their fathers. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? This is a pain that you have to heal. That's why you keep reflecting it. Because just like you, they're seeking revenge against their father. And now, when I'm looking at them, they're treating me like they want to treat their father. And I allow it, because I never got to see the other side of what it is to be a man. There's a time when you can walk away from a situation. There's a time when you can leave a situation alone and say, fuck that, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Nah, but if you never seen that and you associated any man stepping out as a coward, look at the podcast scape right now. A lot of these dudes, a lot of people be thinking that it's his issues with his mama. Nah, he's trying to seek revenge on his father, and he can't fight him. He can't get his father back. The only way to get his father back is, you know what, I'm going to show you that I'm better than you. But in the wake of that shit, I'm going to involve myself with women who have father issues. They're trying to get in. So now she has to go, you know what I'm saying? Like, he needs 6 figures. He needs to be everything that my father wasn't. And then now, and me seeking revenge for that, now it's like, yeah, daddy, I got a good man. You left me, but this man got me. This shit is deep, y'all. This shit is deep as fuck. And now these dudes are still, like I said, seeking revenge on mothers and fathers, really, but they're seeking revenge on their fathers. You feel what I'm saying? You don't develop boundaries. You don't develop nothing sustainable that makes you connect to women the right way, because you're doing it out of revenge. At least I was. At least a lot of the dudes that I can see doing this shit because they're doing exactly what I did that I healed from, that I can say, oh yeah, you trying to get revenge on your daddy. And then I kept running into these relationships. So like I said, in healing that, writing So Frail and everything, I kept running into that. And I was like, yo, the last couple of women that I really got intimate with, we ain't fucking nothing, but like, it was like, yo, you got my number. We talking all the time, spending time. It's like, yo, they had issues with their fathers. They had issues with their fathers. They had fucked up relationships with their fathers. And I'm like, wow, we're doing the same shit. And being that I had already loved one time, now we're getting to the point. Being that I had already loved one time, bringing it back, I'm still thinking that love is like, I had never even loved that person. Although I was loving her, making her better and everything, love wasn't reciprocated. So now when things come back into reality, it's like I'm still repeating this process, still trying to seek revenge. I healed from her. I got through the process. I was able to forgive her and understand the pain. The reason why she did what she did, because, but I never made a connection that I still had not associated that I was trying to get revenge from my dad. You did what I'm saying? The seeds were planted over the last couple years. I think, let me see, since 21, maybe. Yeah, since 2021, that's when I've actually, every year I've been kicking with my pops on around the 4th of July. So the first year, we kicking it. Again, it's proving the point. It's how to revenge, nigga. Proving the point. Yeah, nigga, I'm better than you. I'm better than you, nigga. I'm better than you, nigga. And I'm trying to, that's how I'm feeling when I'm meeting them. I'm like, I'm better than you, nigga. Better than you, nigga. Like, hey, y'all don't go around telling motherfuckers I'm better than you, nigga. But that's how the conversation was with me and him. Like when he was like, yeah, so what you got going on now? Yeah, man, I'm building my website. I got 3 books. I'm missing that there. And it fucked me up again because he kept saying he's proud of me. Nigga, no. Nigga, I want that look on your face like, I fucked up. I should have been in his life and all that shit. Nah, he just told me he's proud of me. And as we talk, he's like, yeah, man, I fucked up. I wasn't ready. I just stand the third. Like he's apologetic for what he did. That's not what you was supposed to be, because I didn't think you was apologetic, because now I have to stop trying to seek revenge against you. As long as I know you didn't apologize, as long as I know you don't give a fuck, as long as I know you don't care, I can keep seeking revenge. I can't seek revenge no more when you're apologetic for what you did. I have to forgive you now. Because you allow the vengeance, because you know you fucked up. And that's what, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing about being apologetic. It opens the door for vengeance or forgiveness to come in. That's what apologies are so real. When you apologize for real, you open the door for wow. When you are truly apologetic and you apologize for somebody, you open the door for them to choose to be forgiving or vengeful to you. That's a whole different world right there. You give them all the power. I fucked up. I apologize. Now you have the power to either forgive me or seek vengeance on me. And I was so busy trying to seek vengeance on him without knowing that I was seeking vengeance. I was like, yeah, I made something of the last name and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you was going to do that anyway. He ain't say that, but he said that in so many words. You feel me? It's like, yo, you was going to be great anyway. He said, ain't nothing you can't do, is it? When I started telling him about music and all that, he said, it really ain't nothing you can't do. Like, nigga, I want to be mad. I want to be angry. Nigga, the fuck? Fuck is wrong with you, homie? But again, I healed it. I was healing it. So Frail 3 is done, and all these different, like, I'm seeing the transformative piece within myself as I'm writing these books. I can see the actual development. I can see that I've gone through I've done the work that I actually talk about. And so I just had not made that final connection. So this final connection was made in lieu of the forgiveness episode. You know what I'm saying? The last couple of relationships that I was with, last 3 or 4 to be exact. You know what I'm saying? We talk, we vibe. It's the same situation. We always come to a standstill, but I can never get to them. And it wasn't until I actually met one in actual physical life and shit. And it's just like, why you acting like that? You feel me? Like, I was going to open the door for you. You don't got to walk in front of the door and stand there and, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I'm going to open the door. Like, yeah, my man going to open the door. I am. The fuck? I was going to do it anyway, but you don't have to be like that. But I get why you're doing it now. Then I thought about the rest of them. I'm like, wow, this is the same shit. Y'all have bad relationships with your father and you're seeking revenge like I am. We are the same motherfucker. And it's hard to see because it's reflected differently. Women trying to get revenge on their fathers is totally different than men trying to get revenge on their fathers. What happens is women now set unrealistic standards and expectations for men because they never had anything to set an expectation to. But men are striving to be an expectation that they never saw. And these two worlds come together. These two fucking worlds come together. And so in that, we're trying to find love again. We're trying to love each other again. And it's like, you can't love outside of your purpose. Just had to come to terms with that. That's why that first heartbreak is so bad. And you spend time trying to replicate it or trying to, because you have good moments in it, but you seem like it can't work because the first heartbreak is supposed to expose you to healing yourself so you can start getting your purpose revealed to you. The damages. I had to go through 2 heartbreaks before I even started to heal to get that point of, yo, your purpose is found on the other side of your pain. When I started to find out my purpose was found on the other side of my pain, it gave me the excitement to say, yo, keep healing. Because now I'm revealing my purpose. I'm going to keep healing. I heal from my father breaking my heart. I heal from the girlfriend breaking my heart. And I'm like, yo, I heal from growing up in poverty. There's a lot of things that I heal. And everything is a manifestation of all that I created. You see what I'm saying? So now it's like when you try to find love again, you trying to like, this is what's been happening to me. The cycles has been insanity. I'm trying to find it and like, yo, but it's like, yo, you can't because none of them are aligned with your purpose. They're aligned with your revenge. I didn't realize it till I wasn't seeking revenge no more. Like this, man, when I'm saying meeting this nigga, like I really can't be mad at him. I can't even exact the vengeance on him. And it's like, I no longer wanted to, if you paid attention to how, like, speaking on when I talked about it at the beginning, my original rap name was McGee. My rap moniker now is Just Seen, just like my brands and everything. I keep that the same because Just Seen is the healed version of me. That's not the vengeful motherfucker. That's the forgiving. Just Seen is forgiving. McGee is vengeful. I never like if I listen to some of my old music and shit, it's like, nigga, you was evil. Fuck these bitches and this shit and the third. Fuck these niggas I shoot, kill, blah, 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 blah. That's what's fueling a lot of the artistry. Vengeance. Not forgiveness. Pure vengeance. But a lot of people don't understand how to forgive because they don't understand that forgiveness is understanding why pain was inflicted. When I look back at these, like, I know why you did what you did to me, and I know why we couldn't work. I know I can play victim all day long and say you ain't shit. You could do the same for me. But until we come to consensus that we are trying to seek vengeance on men that were never there for us, we will never understand why the world is running like this for us. You feel what I'm saying? So when you align according to that, there's purpose in it. That's not your purpose, but there's purpose in that alignment. Because now you got to prove a point. What point do you have to prove? I don't have to prove a point. I need a purpose to fulfill. You see what I'm saying? Only in the most recent years that I'm able to see that. And in the forgiveness episode, this last episode that I was with, it was really, somebody did come back into my space and it was like, yo, our first time with this shit, it didn't work. And then I was like, yo, you came back and you the same motherfucker. Because I'm the same motherfucker. Go figure. And I'm only the same motherfucker not because I still had the vengeance in my heart, because I had not reached the point. I had not reached the point of accepting that, yo, I'm not a vengeful motherfucker no more. But I had lived that life for so that had became a part of me. That had became a part of who I was in the healing and shit. Like, nigga, I'm a vengeful motherfucker. Now I'm a forgiving person. When I started to learn forgiveness, like forgiving my father, it opened up so many different doors. Actually, forgiving the girlfriend first, because I felt like she hurt me worse than my dad. Like, that was a different, like, to know that the only thing that saved me was that we were celibate. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I probably would have lost my mind had she lost the baby, and it potentially could have been mine. It would have broke me, yo. It would have broke me. I can't even begin to imagine what that would have done to my mental health. To know that you cheat on me, you get pregnant, it could have been mine, and now it's lost. It's like, damn. Now, women, oh, you got a baby, you got any babies? Nah, my baby died. Like, that would have hit different. But because we was practicing celibacy, I was saved from that shit, bro. I was saved from that mental trauma. But in healing it, you know what I'm saying, and healing from that relationship and everything, I was able to, all right, bet I can now interact, you know what I'm saying, with women on a healthy perspective now. I got more patience for women, but I still had not healed the revenge because so all of the women that I was going to be gravitating towards have fucked up relationships with their fathers. And it's not on no fucked up shit. Like, it's like, yo, you ain't shit because you're like, no, it's just the way our culture, it's the way society made our culture, homie. Your father wasn't supposed to be there. It was supposed to fuck us all up. Like, this is how they wanted the reality to be, because now we're living life out of vengeance. Vengeance and survival. That's a crazy combination when you really think about it. We living out of vengeance and survival. So within these last conversations, I'm like, you're still the same. You're still the same. And then it's like all y'all are the same because all y'all had the same. We all had the same connection. We don't have a healthy relationship with our fathers. And now that my relationship is developing, I ain't gonna say it's healthy yet, but it's developed. I don't have, like I said, I can't come around him and have that. Like, I had to let so many guards down because I didn't realize how much I got from him. The very motherfucker I'm trying to prove that I'm better than, it's like, yo, you are him. Most of you is him. My wit, my charisma, my charm, my jokes, my, like, all of that shit is him. Straight from him. Like, when I sat and talked to, like, let me tell you, right? So he in the military and shit, right? So he was trying to flex. And in the military, he works on computers. He actually fixes them and shit. He fixes computers for like airplanes or some shit. Didn't know this nigga, so I didn't know nothing about it. So him and my sister, they talked mainly, but my sister, she was in the military. She got out. And so he's like, yeah, man, they about to get me for disability because I'm about to go ahead and say I got reptile dysfunction. And my sister said, what? He said, you heard what I said? I got reptile dysfunction. And then he says, my snake don't work. And I thought about it. I'm like, wait, because it is erectile dysfunction when your penis don't work. Now, I don't know if he got it or not. I'm just speaking on the joke of how he moved and how I do the same shit. Because he was like, yeah, I got reptile dysfunction. You know, when shit don't work. She said, you mean erectile dysfunction? He said the same shit. My snake don't work. I was like, because a snake is a reptile, a penis. The other name, we call a penis a snake. And if it don't work, this nigga's witty as fuck. And I said, that's where I be getting that shit from. When I look at the way I make music, when I look at the bars and the shit, I be saying simple one-liners that hit. Like, I got that shit from him. Never knew it. So again, it made it easier to heal. It made me want to heal. I'm like, what more did this nigga give me? Because now it's a whole side of me that I'm missing, that I'm not tapping into because of vengeance. You see what I'm saying? A lot of the lyrical ability that I have is layered like simple shit like that, but he does it all the fucking time. My mama was telling me a story one time when before I was even born, somebody had got somebody was scrapping and the dude shitted on himself. My pops just calling me some shit that I do. He was like, damn, he really did beat the shit out of him. Cause the dude shitted on himself after he got beat up. Right? So it's just like, yo, I will do little witty, quick one-liners and shit like that. I do it all the time. Y'all see my captions, my posts and shit like that. The whole post is literally quick one-liners, but they layered so deep. That's where I got it from. I would have never known that that's where I came from. And I was still trying to seek revenge, and it would have capped me off to that reality, because it would have been an arrogant reality of this is just who I am. Nah, this is what you got for your father. Now what you gonna do with it? You see what I'm saying? So again, I know it's like, yo, we're going to get to the purpose partner. Now, the purpose is found on the other side of your pain. I revealed all of the purposes that I have. And now it's like, the reason why I said I need a purpose partner, because I was so busy trying to find love, trying to find girlfriends and say, hey, let me find a love. Like, no, my purpose partner. Because in the same context, all of these women, they didn't conflict. They conflicted with my purpose. It's like, what are you doing? Like, you can't be with her. And this is going to sound so fucked up. If y'all listening right now and you think, clutching your pearls, I'm sorry. It's an impromptu. I didn't know this was going to come out. I don't plan these shits. But in the context of it, it's just like, yo, bro, like, y'all are aligned according to the vengeance of that relationship with y'all fathers. Y'all are aligned to your purpose. Now, it just so happens that These women read my book So Frail. These women hear the So Frail conversations and they're like, yo, he's the man that my father couldn't be. Yeah. Yeah. And then given these conversations and shit, it's like now it's bittersweet because at this point it's not like I've done all of these things out of revenge and say, yeah, Pop, I'm better than you. Like, no, I'm revealing the experiences of the healing that I've gone through. But in so far conversations, I'm like, yo, this is necessary because again, wow, I guess it is because in so far conversation is given the forgiveness as opposed to the vengeance. Because again, remember when I was talking about the snowball effect? Vengeance and forgiveness are both snowballs. The more you do or try to get both of them, the more they develop. I switched to forgiveness, and then forgiving, like this is what happens. This is what comes out. The snowball effect that is forgiveness. Now it is a big snowball. I was just at a crossroads in life because I'm like, yo, I still want love. But it's like, why can't I find it? Because I wasn't looking for my purpose partner. The person that I'm supposed to be in alignment with, is not out of the vengeance of we didn't have a father in our lives, but it's out of the purpose of, yo, you got 400, you got to heal for a culture. If you listening right now, because I ain't found you yet, but if you listening right now and you bay and you think you bay, whatever the case may be, you've been putting in the work to heal the culture. Because if not, we ain't gonna be together. And I've been so stubborn to the shit the whole time, thinking that as the man, I got to carry this shit out of vengeance. As the man, I got to carry this shit on my own because I'm the protector. I'm the provider. No, you're going to get a partner. You got a partner, but you got to understand that y'all are purpose partners, but y'all have to have the same purpose or very similar purposes in alignment with each other. When I look at all of the shit that I just put into this world, for somebody like, and I was like, why don't the women, and again, these women that I was trying to involve myself with, I was trying to teach them day trading and investing and shit. They be like, I don't want to learn it. I'll leave that to you. That means that this ain't your purpose. Because I'm healing for a culture. This is some reverberative shit that's like, you know that phrase, I'm my ancestors' wildest dream? Yeah, I'm that. I'm him. I am seen. It's crazy. Like even my name. Even my name is like to go by singing and to go in a space where, and I was just making a post about this. It's crazy how alignment this is. This is purely downloading. I just made a post about how children are to be seen and not heard, and all Black sky is sports and entertainment is how you seen. And for me to be seen, you see what I'm saying? Like there's so many different reverberative things that have transpired. Somebody on the other side is already aligned what I'm supposed to be. I'm literally that wildest dream of my ancestors. However, what I wasn't understanding is that my purpose is supposed to be in harmony with somebody's. That love shit, the way in which they teach us about love, that's not what it is. That love is supposed to correct you. And that heartbreak or whatever the case may be, it's going to lead you to it's going to correct you into your purpose if you heal. Everybody don't want to heal because it allows them to continue to seek revenge. People, like I said, people be thinking revenge is I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be sitting outside your crib waiting to shoot you up. No, it's simply trying to make somebody else like, you feel me? Yeah. What's your new ex-girl or whatever the case may be like? It's like, yo, don't rub it in that. You don't want to rub a relationship in their face. I don't want you to know I'm in a relationship. I don't even want you to know how the fuck I'm doing. You feel what I'm saying? Because forgiveness on the other side, when I truly forgive you and I understand, I don't want you, because when I understand why you inflict pain, I don't want your pain inflicting ass on my purpose. It's one thing when I didn't have my purpose, but now it's like, yo, I'm an author. I'm going into a space now because the last thing that I really had to do was make sure that Inflate with Inflation and Master the Market was on point. A lot of people was like, yo, why you ain't doing this yet? Because I literally had missions that I had to complete first. My life has been like Grand Theft Auto. I'm like CJ, bro. Like for real. I had missions that I had to complete before I can do it. And I was sat the fuck down until I did them. I had to write all 3 Soul Raw books. I had to create the Hitting the Raw book and Hitting the Raw course. I had to do all of this shit because the ancestors said, my guides, whoever, God, Allah, Jehovah, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, the source, whatever it is that you call it, they sent me here. I am back in this motherfucking plane because of this. And until I get this shit done, I cannot do anything. So I was sat the fuck down while I had to complete all the shit. Mastering the market, even now, I'm still getting better at Inflate with Inflation. It'd be like, I'll do a webinar and shit, and I'll be like, hey, Iwi, I got something new for y'all. So I'm still sat down until that point. Something is like, yo, you have to be 100%. Everything has to be done because when you pass this torch, if you leave this motherfucker, your torch can't go out. Your flame can't go out. You see what I'm saying? And understanding my purpose is like, damn, now that changed my reality because the woman that I'm supposed to be in alignment with right now, she's in the same position I'm in. That's scary. And the women that I kept running into, it's like, yo, what's your purpose? I haven't figured it out yet. I'm still looking. Oh, but me being an optimistic motherfucker that I am, it's like, okay, I'll help you get to you. No, they're not going to get to theirs. They're going to leverage yours. That shit crazy, bro. That shit crazy. And again, if y'all listening, I'm not saying this to be disrespectful to y'all in any way, shape, or form. But what I am saying is that this is the reality of what it is. This is why we were so blocked. And this is low key why we are where we are right now. Like, I've already fulfilled my purpose. And when I was trying to bring shit out of y'all didn't want it. Y'all didn't want to do it. Y'all don't have to be entrepreneurs like me. But at the same time, whoever is in line with my purpose is my reflection. It's my reflection. They're not my opposite. I realize now in the purpose partner reality, I realize now that I'm a complete being now. I'm not a half. I don't need another half. So I'm not out looking for my other half because I know I'm a whole complete being. And it's deeper than that. It's like, I'm not still trying to figure me out. I'm not trying to figure out why the fuck I'm here. I'm not trying to figure out why the fuck everything happened to me. But the problem was I had not released the vengeance from my heart yet. And it took me having to understand forgiveness. I really understood forgiveness the last couple of years with meeting my dad. The fucking full circle moment. Because I was finally ready to meet him, which means I was finally able to forgive him and release the vengeance from my heart. And in meeting him, it's like, bro, I forgive you because I understand now why you inflicted the pain. Nigga, this is 400 years of shit. You were going to do this anyway. This ain't your fault. It was your responsibility, but it wasn't your fault because we were put in these conditions 400 years ago. We're just carbon copies of that same shit. You did all you knew to do. The forgiveness started there for him because it's like, damn, bro. Makes sense when you read that Bible verse and says, forgive them, Father, because they don't know what the fuck they doing. He don't say it like that. But you feel me? It's forgive them, Father, because they know not what they do. Now I understand. They're like, they know what they doing. They make no. They consciously may know what they're doing, but unconsciously it's something deep within them that's causing them to respond this way. And forgiveness is when you understand why they're inflicting pain. Because you don't know that you're inflicting pain. You think you're being yourself. And so I realized that I was in a position where I could not damage women anymore. I could not, like, I had to be in a space where anytime we collaborate with each other, we come, again, this is another thing that I'll be talking about. These are things that I keep saying, collaborative relationships as opposed to competitive. I'm not in a vengeful mind. I'm in a competitive relationship because, again, I'm trying to prove that I'm better. I got the baddest bitch. I got this, that, and the third. Like, that's easy to get. I've been getting them since I was 11. The fuck? What you mean? I need a collaborative woman now. Now, to be collaborative, that means you have to be in the same space as me, like mind, like soul, like body. I've been quoting all of this shit for so fucking long and didn't know the root cause as to why. Because deep down, I guess somewhere within me, I knew that I had to shift revenge into forgiveness, but I didn't know how. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. But I've been quoting a lot of these things, and now it's like, yo, your purpose partner, that's who you're supposed to be with. The love of your life is supposed to elevate you into finding your purpose partner, but you have to heal in that time frame. People ain't healing because we got to still go to work. We still got to go into to so many different things. Every woman that I've met, and this is what's scary about it, because they could have been my purpose partner if they would have just healed. They just wanted to stop hurting, and they stopped hurting. And I made them feel good a little bit. There's not a woman that I've been with, especially within the last 5 years or whatever the case may be, that I was healing them and they didn't know it. I didn't know I was healing them. I just had patience with them, but they would always cry in some way, shape, or form. Not that I was intentionally making them cry, but I would tap into something. Oh, I'm healing that pain. You come into your purpose, baby. But they don't want to come to their purpose because they want to be strong. The trope of I'm a strong black independent woman and shit like that. You don't have to be here that. You don't have to be that here, baby, because I'm not competing with you. I'm collaborating with you. I want you to be as weak as you can so we can make yourself stronger, so we can find what your purpose is. Because I'm walking in mine. I'm walking in mine. There's almost a direct correlation between every woman that I met. She's on the cusp of religion. You know why you met me? You may think you. Hey, look, I'm gonna keep it a hundo with you, and I'm gonna start to wrap this up. You may think that when you come into my space on an intimate level, that I still no. That's why you're here. That's a part of your purpose, to give that bullshit up. But I'm the only one who's going to help you get to that point. The problem is, because of what you're doing, the vengeance that you may still have within whatever relationship you have, you can't see the respect that I'm giving you, but you can't deny anything that I say. And that's what gets scary, because now you're going to be left alone when you think about it. Because now in the competitive space, the purpose partner, if you really my purpose partner, you're going to be with me forever. I promise you. Not just like a baby mama or no such shit like that. You're going to be with me forever. Like forever, ever. Forever, ever. But no, it's because that fear of, if we don't work and I get exposed to some shit that I can't go back from, now I can't fuck with my family no more. Now my family's going to have a certain look. I know how y'all feel. That's why I let y'all rock how y'all rock. Because last thing I want to do is separate you from your family, but I can't take away from what I've learned. And I can't sedate it, and I can't hide what I am. And I wish you wouldn't hide what you are. You feel me? But again, you have to know who you are for yourself. You have to heal and get to that purpose, because y'all stop hurting. This is why I've been trying to tell motherfuckers for the longest. Like, this is how you actually heal. But because a lot of motherfuckers stop hurting, they think, I'm numb to the shit. Nah, I don't get triggered by shit. Shit don't trigger me. I be oblivious to a lot of shit because I don't get triggered. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like, when you really heal, it don't hurt you no more. Because you understand the pain. You feel what I'm saying? You understand the pain. You make yourself stronger than what's capable of hurting you. That's healing. You feel what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that the pain doesn't stop. A mosquito bite is still going to hurt. It's still going to itch. The fuck? But then you get to a point, if you have so many mosquito bites, you don't notice that you got a mosquito bite. Next thing you know, you're just itching. You see what I mean? There's levels to the shit, because over time, healing is about getting stronger. It's not about removing the pain. But because we numb ourselves so much, we run from the pain, and we think that, if I interact with space, I'm the motherfucker that when you interact with me, you're going to find pain. You're going to feel that pain, but we're going to get you through it. So the point that I was making was like, these women, you made me cry. I didn't make you cry. Damn, I don't really cry. You making me, so I ain't making you soft. I'm healing you. I'm helping you catalyze your healing. You don't want to heal. That's why you're trying to wipe the tears. That's why you don't want me to see your face. That's why you don't want to look me in my eyes. That's why when we talk, you want to change the subject or whatever the case may be. Because it helps you have that safe haven. Because then you get to keep that revenge intact. Because all that you're doing right now, these guards that you have, is because you are trying to seek vengeance on a man that was your father. Because I was trying to do the same motherfucking shit. I was out here being this cold, smooth ladies man type motherfucker and all that shit, being the best a woman could be and become a need in her life, because I was trying to seek revenge on my dad, and I realized it was futile. Because then now the bigger issue is I'm trying to seek revenge on a system that made that possible for him to happen like that anyway. That had been making us breeders since we was, for 400, 500 years, we were made to be breeders. 400, 500 years, we were sold off and shipped off, and it like 400, 500 years of masculinity was gone. Masculinity was gone, and men have been emasculated. And there's been a mother-son dynamic ever since. We're at the cusp where women no longer want that type of relationship, but don't know that that's the only type of relationship that's been programmed. You feel what I'm saying? There's a lot of cycles breaking right now, but a lot of people are afraid to break the cycles. And I'm going to tell you why. I've been saying this for the longest, and I'm going to wrap it up. Religion is the final shackle that they have on us. I don't care whether it's Christianity or Islam. Religion is the final shackle that they have on us. If we ever collectively put down religions, we'll be free. I promise you. We'll be free. And they can no longer control us. This is what the biggest issue is with Haiti. They want to demonize Haiti because they can't control Haiti. They could not defeat Haiti because Haiti gave the religion back. Those are the only group of black people that ever gave the religion back, and they won. They got you thinking Haiti's not demonic or whatever the case may be. The God of your enemy is your devil. You don't find it odd or suspicious that every deity that we find ourselves accustomed to doesn't look like us? And every deity that does look like us is called a demon? How does that even make sense? When Beyonce did the Black is King thing, when she was covering Hathor, when she was covering Ma'at, when she was covering all of the black deities, Oshun, it's like, wow, y'all say this whole shit is demonic, nigga, because y'all don't even know what the fuck you're looking at anymore. You see what I'm saying? So now, to the point, the women that come into my space is like, yo, like I can't force you because you got your own free will. I can't force you to fuck with me, but I can't dim down who I am. You're at the point where you want to transition. You don't trust the religion no more. You don't fuck with it no more. You're not in church no more, but yet you still can't figure out why you met a motherfucker like me. Not a motherfucker who just talks about the shit because he's upset, but a motherfucker who has thorough understanding, and you know he has thorough understanding about it. You don't find that odd. You just think it's the way things are supposed to be. No, it's because your purpose and my purpose is aligned. And one of the things that I always say, this is one of the things that I always say, women are not supposed to submit to men. Men are supposed to unleash women. I found my purpose already. When you come to my space, you want to find your purpose, all of them. That's why you're here. You're just scared of your purpose because you're scared to be unleashed because you're so programmed to, I had to submit to a man. So many women keep telling me, yo, you're the type of man I submit to and you're going to be mad because you're going to fuck with me and I don't want you to submit. What? You want me to grow? Yep. Because you're my purpose partner now. I need you because my purpose is raw. I don't need no submissive woman clapping behind me. Go, babe. You feel me? I need a purpose partner standing beside me. In one of my jam sessions, one of my recent ones, I was like, when you hit the head, they say when you hit the head, the sheep are scattered, but ain't no sheep inside my clique. You get your shit splattered. Nothing stops around me. If you take me out, nothing that I built will stop. Because ain't no sheep in my shit. You see what I'm saying? So, in coming to terms with that reality, the purpose partner, yes, I'm gonna love the purpose partner with everything in me, but it's like, this is the reflection of who I am. There's no settling, there's no compromising, there's no we gotta know. It's like we collaborate. We collaborate, bro. If you look at music, when musicians collaborate with each other, they don't hold back. Motherfucker don't get on track and say, don't go as hard as I want you. Like, you know what I'm saying? The biggest example, when some do that because like, I don't want you to bother me on my own shit. But when Kendrick Lamar did Control, Big Sean, he was a real one for that. He said, nah, bro, I wanted him to collaborate, and this is what he did. You supposed to outdo me. But it's not about outdoing me. It's about bringing your best to my best. It's not my fault if I didn't go my best or my best wasn't good enough for yours, but bring your best to me because that's what I need. And as a man who has found his purpose, and this is why I talk to you, when you truly tap into your masculine essence, you naturally want to unleash your woman because you want to see how well she can synthesize and construct from off of what you. Do y'all see how much I've deconstructed and analyzed in this world? And I still have more to do. I ain't got really more to do, but I'm just saying, like, the capacity in which I'm doing, I need somebody who can equally do that on a synthesis and construction level. You feel what I'm saying? So many people ask me, like, yo, how do you learn so much? It's easy. It's analysis and deconstruction. This is what masculinity is supposed to do. All masculine men, the true masculine men, can do this at will. It don't take us hard to break some shit down and learn with it. We just scared to go through the different levels of the mind and all this other shit. We go to school. We don't go into our own environments and our own conditioning and know what masculinity really is. Therefore, we can't unleash the women the right way. But the problem is women are afraid of the unleashing because now you have to change everything. And now it's scary because if I like, especially with a motherfucker like me, because the biggest reality is religion. Like the problem is so many women. It's like, yo, are you still like? There is no. Am I still on this religion? Like I really understand it to the point where I don't need it. You feel what I'm saying? I don't have to believe in anything anymore because I have understanding about everything in my mind. And what I don't have understanding about, I will eventually, because I know how to move it through the phases of my mind. So none of this shit is a phase. This is understanding, baby. And that's what's scary, because now you have understanding as well. Now you're coming into an understanding and you're starting to unleash yourself, and it gets scary because now you have to deal with the reality of the possibility of, I'm completely disconnected from my family. You feel me? I'm very connected to my family. A lot of people, I know some of the episodes will make it seem like I don't fuck with them. No, I fuck with them. I fuck with everybody. You feel me? But I connect with them, which means I know how to disconnect from them, because I know I can only connect to you on this level. That's it. I don't go around my family and, tell them shit like, yeah, this bullshit, you need to give it back. It's like, no, but when you invite me to the conversation, be ready. Be ready. I had a conversation. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna wrap it up. And it ties into the purpose. This is my purpose was to actually break this information down so well in conjunction with masculinity that there's no argument when I tell you, oh, this is the final shackle we got to break. If y'all want to be free, this all you got to do is give this up. But notice, I never ever tell you just to give it up. I say understand it before you let it go. Take it through the belief levels of the, you know what I'm saying? Belief levels of the mind. 4 levels of the mind: belief, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Know the 3 modalities of the mind: conscious, subconscious, and unconscious, because you got to realize how wired it is to you. You feel me? Like when people know consciously that the letter J didn't exist until 50-50, but unconsciously they still have to call on the name of Jesus. You see what I'm saying? You got to go all the way down to the unconscious level of the mind. Then you still have to understand the religion from mythology, ritual, and allegory. I'm going to take you through all of those rings if you fuck with me, but you got to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? And you can't be afraid to fuck with you, because y'all don't resonate with me for no reason. That's your soul. Your unconscious mind is telling you where to go. Your conscious mind has to create all these different realities for you, because you have to realize what it is. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of people aren't really ready for that. But that's the only shackle we got left. That's the only shackle we have left. We become free the moment we give that back. The moment we understand why it was used against us. We don't find it like, we think that we've been like, no, you've been Christian for as long as you were able to speak English. And you wonder why you didn't learn how to read anything but that when you was learning how to, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit's crazy. But it's real. And then when you understand the layers of it, and then you actually understand the religion for yourself, you make the choice and you can accept or reject it. I chose to reject it, because I understand what it was used for. To accept it means I stay in a perpetual state of slavery. It's not rocket science. As long as we continue to accept this, we will continue to be enslaved. Yes, you feel like because you don't have shackles, you're not enslaved. No, but as long as you cannot consciously, when you can't consciously think for yourself and everything, you can't make any decision without a deity. And the deity was given to you by your enemy. Really think about that. When you realize how to start making your own decisions and shit like that, building your own choices and shit, that's when your reality changes. So I say that, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up with this last line, with this last statement. The purpose partner is the person who's the exact reflection of who you are. It's not something that you have to bring out of a motherfucker. It's not something that you have to put into a motherfucker. They are already there. The level that you are within your purpose will be reflective of the people that you keep running into. Until you and that motherfucker is like, yo, you looking in the mirror. It's like, nigga, you me. You feel me? All of these women that I seen, that I involved myself with over the last years and shit, they were me. But they were the me who was afraid to be. It was on me to unleash them. And in trying to unleash them, showing them that it's okay to be at this point, they were afraid of it. It wasn't self-sabotage. It wasn't sabotage in a way, but it was understanding I'm not there yet and I don't want to admit it. You see what I'm saying? Or knowing that if I go this route, this is what changes. Because they've all had a common theme where they would say they ran into their mamas or their aunts or their uncles or somebody, and they was talking to them about me and how I made them feel, about how I made them feel, how I made them think and everything like that. And it's like, be careful. Some of them call me a devil worshiper, somebody, whatever the case. All right, whatever it is. But those women never stop those thoughts. They know what they're thinking on the inside. They know what they feel on the inside. And if y'all listen, then y'all know what the fuck it really is. No matter what that's why you are where you are and I am where I am. And you know what I mean by that. You know what I mean by that. And what I mean by that, since the other nosy motherfuckers is here, what I mean by that is that you know what you've already been exposed to spiritually, and you know what your mind says, and you know how conflicted you are on the inside. You're just scared because you know what's going to happen when you cross this line. Well, you think you know what's going to happen when you cross this line, that you're not going to be able to fuck with nobody, whatever the case may be, because you think I don't fuck with nobody. No, I connect to who I need to connect to at the time. You see what I'm saying? And I address the right situations accordingly. You see what I'm saying? You there. A lot of us are here, but we just scared to push through because of what happens when we reach understanding. We think we completely, sometimes you don't change, you just enhance yourself. I realized full circle that I just restored my innocence. I'm the motherfucker I was before I was 11 years old. The free spirit, the thinker, the like, I didn't have any worries, no stresses, none of that shit before my first heartbreak, which was from my father, and my second heartbreak. But in trying to seek the vengeance to get him back, trying to seek the vengeance to get like, this is what it led to. All you got to do is shift your vengeance for the father figure or the patriarchal figure in your life. And we wonder about how religion is so tied to this. Misogyny, like, So Frail wasn't written by accident, people. Y'all didn't read So Frail for no fucking reason at all. You were drawn to it. You were drawn to it. You were drawn to it because you was ready. You feel me? Now, if you still hold that vengeance in your heart for your patriarchal figure, you're going to seek revenge, and you're seeking revenge and getting that person back. It's like a one-to-one. Everybody that I ran into, they were reaching this point where they were understanding their relationship with their fathers, but they weren't understanding the full dynamic of it because they weren't able to see as deep as I can see. And what I mean by that is they're thinking that it's just the relationship with their father while their father wasn't there. And then it's like, you wasn't shit, you abandoned me. Because a woman has a different connection with her father than a man does. For me, it's about respect. For her, it's about love. So I always say respect is to men what love is to women. But understanding it from the love perspective is different from understanding it from the respect perspective. And because it's different, it causes a different reality to be catalyzed out of us. So it's deeper than them just in their father. They have to understand and see and come to terms with the fact the culture was designed like this 400 years ago. And what you have to put down in order to go forward are the things that I've already put down. And either you're going to be a part of the purpose or you're going to be seeking love, and I can't do love anymore. And that's just how the human psyche works. Once you get to that point of your purpose, none of your relationships will be out of love again. They will only be out of purpose. By default, you'll love the person, but it'll only be about how well they will align with your purpose. And if they can't align with your purpose, they shouldn't be your partner. And don't forget to check out Cafe Clothing, formerly Just Scenes merch. Get all of your intricate designs crafted specifically for the melanated being to develop a positive imagery within self and to have a little bit of fun in the process. From the peace, love, knowledge, and freedom to the dead horses and water designs, all of the styles are crafted for the imagery to make you feel as you're supposed to feel. Because as I always say, the best way to fit in is to stand out. And what better way to stand out than with your exclusive styles from Cafe Clothing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Again, if y'all are listening to this and if y'all made it this far and you're somebody who I've involved myself with, I wasn't trying to disrespect you. I'm not trying to come off negatively. I'm speaking on the lesson from our experience that is bigger than us. You feel what I'm saying? I already know what my purpose is and I know what I'm designed for. I know what I'm here for. Y'all are in my space because y'all know what my purpose is too. And you align with my purpose, but you align with my purpose and you fuck with it, but you don't realize that you're a reflection of my purpose. And that's what happens. Like, and I'm not just speaking for the women that I, was talking about initially. I'm speaking collectively now. Y'all are here because y'all are reflections of my purpose. We had the same purpose. We're soul tribe. The fuck? We're soul tribe, and we have a very similar connection to very similar situation where we're connected to the trauma. We're connected to our relationship with our fathers, and if we have not forgiven them, then we're seeking vengeance and we're trying to outdo them. Just gonna fuck with a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all gonna hit me up after this one talking about, bruh, I know, because I've been there. Whole time you've been trying to outdo your father. You know why? Because they've been programming us to be better than our fathers, and it's been a vengeful mentality ever since. Because again, vengeance is not necessarily a bad thing. It is not necessarily retribution and killing motherfuckers. Vengeance can have a positive perspective too when you're trying to outdo some shit. You become a people pleaser. You become a doormat. You feel what I'm saying? All of these things can be a response to vengeance. Now, forgiveness, on the other hand, that allows you to set your boundaries because you understand why the pain was inflicted. So now, in understanding why the pain was inflicted, the boundary is, all right, I can fuck with you, but here's the filter. Your pain can't get through here. But some people can only lead with their pain. So you be thinking you can't fuck with a motherfucking shit. You feel me? Nah, your pain isn't welcome here anymore. That's all. I've forgiven you. Now, if you've changed, then bam, okay, let's see what's up. But so many people, I'm unapologetic. If you're unapologetic, that means you're not willing to open the door for forgiveness or revenge. Again, taking it back to the point that I was making. When somebody truly apologizes, they let their guards down to allow you, to give you the choice to either forgive them or seek revenge on them by them apologizing. Not saying, yo, I'm sorry if what I did. No, that's not an apology. Y'all know what a true, genuine apology is. When you're able to apologize for them, when you're able to express the pain that you inflicted and why you did it, then I can understand why you did the shit that you did, and I can forgive it because I understand why you did what you did. Now, the problem is so many people think that forgiveness automatically comes with reconciliation. So they think because I apologize, you're supposed to start over with me. And that's when you know somebody's really apologizing to you. They're taking the chance to know that you might not fuck with me again. Through all of the bullshit I talk about, the fucked up shit, one thing, I still respect this woman to this day. No matter what she did, no matter how bad she hurt me, I respect her to this day because she did not take my choice away from me. That's how I knew that she was really apologetic about what she did. No matter how mad I was and how much I wanted to punch in her shit, I knew that she was truly apologetic and sorry for what she did, even though she kept repeating the shit. Deeply on a deeper level, she was apologetic about the shit because she did not take my choice away. She had every right to keep it from me. She even talked to one of her friends. She said, should I tell him? She was like, are you going to do it again? She was like, no. She was like, well, don't tell him then. He ain't going to know. The fuck? You feel me? But then she went and did it again, so she had to tell, but whatever. But the point is, she didn't take my choice away. She was like, I didn't want you to take your choice away. Now, if you want to stay with me after this, that's different. But I had to tell you. You see what I'm saying? That's when the motherfucker is truly apologizing to you. They open the door for you to either be vengeful to him or actually forgive him. I just seen this post. Shorty was crazy, bro. Religious lady or whatever the case may be. She talking about in Jesus' name. And this is what she said in Jesus' name. She cheated on her husband and then gonna say, I gave him a hall pass. No, you can't tell somebody how they should forgive you. That's not a true apology. I'm gonna give you the hall pass to go cheat on me. So now I don't have to wonder. No. You need to wonder when it's gonna come. You need to wonder that. That's how you know you're truly apologetic, because I let the guards down and I'm gonna give you the opportunity to either seek revenge on me or forgive me. That's when you know a motherfucker's truly apologetic for what they did. Because only a motherfucker that's like that will change their behavior. You feel what I mean? My dad changed his behavior. He's changed his behavior. I ain't never known him before, but I can, like, from talking to him, the way, like, he's really changed his behavior. We have our moments where he started talking about motherfuckers being deadbeats. I'm like, all right, Kettle, shit, you're getting kind of hot over there. You feel me? But it's not in an angry space no more where I'm seeking revenge. Nigga, I gotta prove that I'm better than you. I'm better than you, nigga. Let me stop. But you feel what I'm saying? He opened the door for me to seek revenge on him or to forgive him. That's how you know somebody's truly apologetic. When they apologize, but they don't give you the option for retribution, or for revenge, they're not really apologetic. They want it shifted in their favor. You see what I'm saying? And until you get that, it's going to be hard to heal and move beyond and actually forgive a motherfucker. But like I said, both of them are snowball effects. That retribution, that vengeance, that is bad. It's bad. And all it's going to do is make you collaborate with a motherfucker who's reflective of you. These women, they don't have to admit it, because I know the depths of our conversation. I had daddy issues. I know you had daddy issues. We had the same daddy issue. That's why we fucked with each other. But it was just, I was a man, you was a woman. You feel me? And so it came in the space that I was supposed to be doing what both of our fathers couldn't do. That was the standard. The unrealistic standard, because neither one of us experienced what the fuck was supposed to be done. Because of some cultural shit. So again, your purpose partner is supposed to be in line with your motherfucking purpose. And if people keep popping up in your life that you don't think are in line with your purpose, but they can't leave you alone, they can't stay, because you're prompted with helping them reach their purpose. Whether they want to reach their purpose or not, all you can do is catalyze it. You can't force it. So don't. But just accept that after your heartbreak, after you heal from the heartbreak, after you heal from the trauma of all of that shit, your purpose will be revealed when you actually go through that, because your purpose is on the other side of your pain. Then once you find your purpose and you start to fulfill your purpose aligns, and now you find the right person that's for you. Final piece of my purpose, and this is another thing, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna wrap it up. One of the things that keeps happening is like all of these women that keep coming to my space, they're into music in some way, shape, or form. Either they can sing, they can write, they got an ear for the music, they can tell what a hit record is, they're musically inclined, like I am. You feel what I'm saying? And now that I'm getting back, I know that the final piece of my purpose is my music. Now I have substance. Now I have something to give my people, to elevate my people's mind. These gym sessions, I know a lot of people be thinking, no, you see how I be layering smart shit down into simple shit? You feel what I'm saying? It's because of that. That's my purpose. That's one of my purposes. That's the final purpose. All of these other things I had to complete to heal myself. But this is the final piece to get back to my gift. Now I can take all of these resources that were a part of my purpose, and now I infuse it with my music, and now my music is the very piece that leverages everything else. So now my purpose partner, she's musically inclined in some way, shape, or form, bro. You feel what I'm saying? But there's other pieces to that, because not only she's musically inclined, she has to be willing to look into the stock market and want to learn how to do that. She's the core principle of a lot of the things like marketing, branding, and advertising. Like, these things are all who I'm supposed to be. If you don't want to do that, then why are you fucking with me? Why do you want to fuck with me? You can't fuck with me, because at the end of the day, I look at it like this. If I die today, can you carry the torch? No, you can't. Because you're not willing to learn. That means you're not a part of my purpose. That means we're not reflective of one another. Because I'm damn sure when we come together, I'm going to learn what you do. Because if you disappear from this world, I got to still be able to keep it going if we have kids. I got to keep your contribution. That's the scary part about a purpose partner. They have to, when you accept it, you have to keep the contribution going for them. Because you now have their purpose. You can't let it die. When you looking for that and you setting that shit up, you can't just look for love and who the motherfucker is going to make you smile and, all this other stupid shit. You got to see who's aligned with your purpose and who can equally reflect it and who can keep up with your purpose. A lot of the women that I involved, they didn't want to learn that. It was like, nah, I just let you do it. Nah, that's not the part of a purpose, because I got to learn your shit too. That's why I have to unleash you. Because in unleashing you, I'm learning what the fuck it is you do. But I'm going to go into end it there. Go kiss your babies and make sure they eat their vegetables. And our kids, I don't really know what to say, because you're not going to realize. You just got to prepare them for the heartbreak and how to overcome the pain to find their purpose, and then let the rest play itself out. You feel what I'm saying? Because you can't deny heartbreak. You can't avoid heartbreak. You can't avoid tragedy. You can't avoid the things that are supposed to break our hearts in order to get us to the point where we can start the healing process in order to get to finding our purpose. You dig what I'm saying? So they got to go through that, but you have to be there to make sure that when they are going through what they're going through, that they're able to actually heal and get to the recovery point so that they can further their purpose. That's what we are supposed to be as parents. The guide into a motherfucker's purpose. We're not supposed to fail at our purpose and push our purpose on them. No, we're supposed to guide them into their purpose. And we have to listen to their purpose. We have to see the things that bother them, see the things that are they're intimately intertwined with, and then push that, because their purpose is going to come out. And then when they get hurt, when they get through that pain, find that shit and figure out how to solve it, help them solve it so they can find their purpose on the other side of it and keep building. And so that when they are getting married and they are looking for their significant other, they're looking for a purpose partner, not a motherfucker that can fuck them, or a motherfucker that's going to, have 6 figures and shit that can take care of them and shit and do all that a parent failed at. You feel me? And, and teach them the art of actual forgiveness and not seeking revenge. Because forgiveness is understanding why pain was inflicted. So is vengeance. Vengeance is understanding why pain was inflicted and not giving a fuck. And then inflicting it and saying, you know what, I'm just not going to fuck with you. Forgiveness is understanding why pain was inflicted and setting up a boundary. But vengeance is understanding why pain was inflicted and mirroring it. Same shit. Different toilet. But make sure our babies understand what forgiveness really is so they can stay in their purpose. Because the snowball is going to be a snowball. It's just how it's going to roll. But I'm going into there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And I'm going to see y'all all either on the next one if I do another impromptu or when we come back for season 11. So peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.